Okay. Can you see my screen? Just please confirm. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in the previous lecture, we began with the first type of join, which is called the cross join, And we said in general that we don't usually use a cross join. That means when we write the queries, it's very rare to go to write a cross join in general. The major type of joins that we'll go to use is what we call it as the inner join, okay? And then we discuss about that. If let's say, assume we have two tables, like we have a staff and a branch, and we know for the staff table, we have, let's say, 6 rows, right? And in the branch table, we have 5 rows. So when I apply a cross join, I will get 30 rows. Because we said here that basically the relational database model, okay, the relational model is built on set theory, okay? So therefore, when I do the cross join, I will go to multiply the first set with the second set. That means the first table with the second table. Then we said that when we go for the inner join, okay, and here today I will go to focus on this point. Usually I will go to use the connection string. And the connection string in major cases, not all cases, will be the primary key and foreign key. And this is why in our design, the primary key and foreign key are very important, because later in the SQL codes will help us on generating the queries, on generating the queries. Also, I highlighted that when you go for the cross join, you'll notice there is two forms. There is two forms. The old form, which is this one, where simply I will go to use the comma, okay? And the new form where I will go to use the keyword. I will go to use the keyword. Now you'll notice in these two statements, there is not much difference. Only I have a cross join and I have comma, okay? But you will see later when I go for the inner join statement, no, it is different. If I want to use this format, which is the old format, then I want to use inner join, how I will write my query will different, and also what it will affect me on how I will understand the query. And this is why I noticed that a lot of students are confused in that part, So I want to highlight the major issues that usually I've seen when the students, let's say, write the join statements, and then we will discuss about these issues to make it more clear, more clear. Now, before I proceed, is there any question for the previous topic? Is there any question for the previous topics?
No, sir.
Okay, so far so good. So let me just now highlight these two queries here, and let me execute the code just to show you that I will get the same result. I will get the same result. So this is the first query, as you can see here, and this is what the second query, as you can see here. Okay, this is what the cross join. So we just finished from a cross join. The second one will be the simple join, or usually what we call it as the inner join, Now, we said here, this is the cross join, right? So if I take the same query, but instead of just simply go for retrieving information from the tables, also I will go to use the where clause. And I will use here the connection string. So I will say branch.branch number is equal staff.branch number, okay? In this case, if I want to ask, let me just write the queries here. So I will say select all from staff and select all from branch, okay? So let me just highlight these two queries to see the result. As you can see here, we have the first table as staff and the second table as what? As a branch. Okay. Now, my question will be, if I want to apply, okay, let me just make it on the proper sequence, because the primary key is the branch number, right? In the branch table, and the foreign key is the branch number in the staff table. Okay. Now, if I run this query, how many rows I will get? If I run this query, how many rows I will get? Please give me the answer in the chat box. Okay, let's see the answers. I will get 3, I will get 6 rows, I will get 4, I will get 4. Let's highlight and execute. I will get how many rows here? From my table, I will get 6 rows. I will get how many rows? 6 rows. Now the question is why? The question is why? Let's go here to my data, to my tables. Now when I add the connection string here, where I say branch.branch number is equal to staff.branch number. So this is the primary, this is the foreign key, right? Now what happens inside database engine is first it will go generate this one. This is the cross join, okay? But you will not see this. This is what? Inside the database engine. Inside the database engine. Just give me 1 minute, there is some noise. I want to close the window. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, now you will notice here, if I generate this one, this is what? The cross join, right? This is what happens inside database engine. Just to make it more clear, let me just go here and add another one, which is staff.branch number and so on. So highlight, execute. Sorry, let me just go for the cross join, okay? So what happens here, I get all the 30 records, right? Inside database engine, we'll go to check for this one. So it will say, is B002 is equal to B007? The answer is no, just skip it. Then go for the second one, third one, and so on. I'm moving now, this is the first one, right? B002 is equal to B002. So this Bob London will appear in my result. Then it will continue. This is not equal. Then this one. So we have till now 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And so on. So in this case, it will give me how many? It will give me 6 rows. Why? Because in my table, let me just execute this once again. Because in my table, notice here, we have 5 branches, but here we have what? We have 6 rows. So that means when this one is matching this one, it will appear. So this one will appear once, this one will appear 3 times, this one will appear once, and this one will appear once, as you can see here. So B007 appears once, then B003 appears Okay, 3 times, then B005, another one, then B002. Clear? Any question till now? Any question till now? Okay, so first, now before I go further in the inner join, we know that we can use something called alias. We can use something called alias. What alias simply? It is, excuse me, it is a nickname that we're going to give it to the user, or sorry, to the table. Like for example, notice here, rather than mentioning the branch table name, I can say here after from space B, that means now the name of the branch table is B. And the name of the staff table is S. Okay, so this one is called B, this one is called what? S, as you can see here. Then later I will use this one as, you know, the table name. You will notice here, if I want to try to do the following, let's assume I want to say I want to add a branch and to run my query will work or it will give me an error.
Error.
It will give me an error. Why? Because if I'm using the alias, I can't use the full table name. So if I run this one, execute, I will say here that it is multi-part identifier. Okay. So simply I will say what we have a branch which is the, oh sorry, branch number for the B table. Now in some codes you found it is space B, or you can say as. So in either cases it will work without any issue. Without any issue. Okay, clear? Any question till now?
No, sir.
Now, you will notice here, we have what? The connection string, right? That I have used earlier. Also, if I want to add any other expression to filter the rows in my table, I can use what? The logical operators. Then after that, I can give the other expression. So for example, here I will say, where this is the connection string, right? Then after that, I said, okay, this is the another expression which is says salary is greater than 10,000. Then 10,000. Now, what I want to do next is the following. Now here I use the old format where I use here comma, right? Now what I want to do is to convert this to inner join. To convert this to inner join. So therefore, I will say this is the inner join here. So let's see how to convert this query, which is using the simple join, to make it what? As inner join, using the inner join keyword. Now, in case of I'm using inner join, or if I'm creating an inner join, let's say query, first of all, the information after select will not be changed at all. That means simply here, just I will go to copy and paste in our case scenario here, the select keyword and its related columns, as we can mention here. Okay. Now, when I go for from, I will go to do the following. First, I will go to take the first table. Then I will go to replace the comma by the keyword inner join. Okay, so I remove the comma from here and I put inner join. Then I will say staff S. Now attention please. Can I simply say the following? Can I just simply copy and paste this line? That means if I want to run now this query, the inner join, it will work or it will give me an error.
It will show you an error, but why?
This
That's
is
the
the question.
Yeah.
Right. Here, notice we get an error. So the question will be how to solve this problem. What is the solution? That means if I run this query, it will give me an error. It says, sorry, there is incorrect syntax. So the question will be how to solve this problem.
We use on. Logical
We use
correctness.
on before what? The connection string, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of where.
Instead of where. So we use what? We use on keyword. Then for the condition here, use where clause. I'll use what? Where clause. So notice here what we have done. First of all, we change the comma to inner join. Okay. Then we add the on keyword, add the condition, then we add the where clause. Okay. Clear? Clear. Now, let me do the following. I will go here to my database diagram, okay? Then notice here, I want to join now a property for rent table. So till now what we have done, we said, okay, please join a branch with the staff in our query. Now I said, okay, also I want to get some information about the properties. So therefore, when I go to my code, once again, in my SQL here, let's assume I want to visit property for rent. So I'll say what? Comma, then property for rent, then P. Okay? And let's assume here I want to view from property for rent which column. Assume I want to check maybe city, no, maybe let's say room, branch numbers. Let me check others. Maybe type, for example, for assumption. Okay. Now, notice here I said branch and so on, ancillary. So here what I will do, I will go and say and, then I need to have the connection string. Now, usually when I'm dealing with the join statement, I always prefer to refer to the database diagram. Why? Because it is easy for me to visualize where is the primary key, what is the foreign key. Otherwise, especially if you have many tables, it will be very hard for you to recall how these two tables are connected. But here, when I check, I'll say, okay, we have first, I connected the branch with the staff. Now we have a primary key between staff and a foreign key in the property for rent. So I can use this as what? As connection string. So I will say the following. I will go to say that staff, where is it? Or staff S, right? S dot number is equal to what? B dot staff number. And let me run now the query. So I get this result. I get this result. Okay. Now, if I want to join with a property for rent using inner join, what I will do here? How I will go to update my query? Please give me the answer in the chat box.
What was the question again? Sorry, sir.
Now I want to add a property for rent in the inner join statement. So how to add it? So where to add the property for rent?
We can add another inner join, no? Or is it another on?
Let's see. Who can give me the answer?
For example, let's see, under on, we add the property for rent.
Okay.
So it's going to be on s dot staff number equals p dot staff number.
Okay, so in this case, what we do here, we said after this, I will do what? Inner join. Okay. Then what I will do next, I will go to add a property for rent. Then what? On the condition, which is this one. Then the where clause.
One number.
Okay. So I will say staff number is equal property dot staff number. Okay. Then I will add the where clause. Now, if I said here, comma b dot type, and now I run both the queries, I will get what? The same result. I will get the same result. Okay. Now this.
So what is
Yes.
actually the difference between
Okay, now why inner join? This is a question now. Why inner join is better than this old format? Why in reality, personally, I prefer inner join instead of using the old format?
Because it allows you to organize the statements in an organized way, not unlike the first
Can
one.
be one of the reasons. What else? Anyone can tell me why the second design here is better than the first design?
So I think it's because of the efficiency. Inner join is more of a filtering, where the first format is more of a conditioning. There's a lot of conditions being used to compute. So if the data is like very huge, then the first statement might have memory issues.
Okay, can be also. I agree with that. But in either cases, both of them will, let me just show you this one here. Both of them, when you run it, okay, execute, either is, okay, there is very less time. Usually it will be the same time to some extent. But let me highlight one point here where usually, why we recommend inner join, not the first type, which is the one using the commas. Now, if you are using even for 3 tables and you are using the commas, usually it is not really a big deal. But when you go for 4 tables, 5 tables, 6 tables, no. This one here will cause you headache for sure. And let me explain why. Now, let me first do the following. If I go here, took the property for rent, and put it the first table. Sorry. Now, if I done this, my query will work or it will give me an error. My query will work or it will give me an error.
I think it should work fine.
It's supposed to work, right? So if I run the query, what will happen here? It will work. There is no issue. Okay. Now, what will happen if I move this condition, for example, from here and make it after where clause? My query will work or it will not work?
I think still works.
It will work, right? If I done the following, I take this condition and put it here. My query will work or it will not work?
Still works.
It will work, for sure. Now notice what happens here in the first query. I can just simply shift anything in any location. Notice the major problem first is after where close, because here I'm doing what? I'm adding the normal expressions to filter my rows in my table. Additionally, I'm adding the connection strings. Now for me, if I look at this query, I will be confused. How this join statement is joining the table, especially if I have extra tables. That means if I don't have the database diagram, I will get headache. I need to check one by one the tables. Okay. Well, notice here the inner join is doing the following. Inner join is like building blocks. So you're saying, okay, give me this information from branch B inner join stuff. So it is like I'm saying, okay, now I am joining branch B and stuff. So they became like one block. So later, if I want to add another table, just simply I will go to add it to this existing block. Okay. So you'll notice here that when I go for the inner join, I just simply said what? Inner join, a property for rent, then on the condition. Then on the condition. Then after that, we add what? The connection, sorry, after that we add what? The other expressions. So for me, when I check the inner join, I know that first I connected the branch with the staff, and this is the connection string. Then I connect it with property for rent, and this is the connection string. So highlight, execute. Now, usually for the first time, students found that inner join is a little bit confusing, not easy, and they prefer what usually this format, which is the old one. But after a while, you notice that inner join is much better because it will do what? It will go to show you the sequence of connection. The sequence of connection. Let me just show you this with another example. Let's go here for database diagram and assume I want to go to connect with a table called viewing. Okay. Now we know this is the primary key in the property for rent. This is primary key at the same time this is foreign key. So I can connect using what? A property number. So similarly, in the first query, I can say the following. I can say, okay, I want to here have a table called viewing, for example, with V, right? Comma. Then here I will add comma, then I will say V dot, maybe let's say property number, for example. Can be, okay? Then I will go here to say, after viewing, I need to add the connection string. So I will say, and then I will say P dot property number, right? This is the primary key, is equal to V dot a property number. Okay. Now if I run this query, I will get the result as you can see here. Now notice here when I go for the inner join, it will become very easy. Why? Because simply I will say, okay, now join with this inner join. Then what? The next table. What is the next table? It is property. Sorry, a viewing table. So I will say viewing B. Then on the condition. What is the condition? B dot a property number is equal V dot a property number. Then I will have the very close, and here I will say, for example, V dot a property number. Now, when I highlight both queries, I will get the same result. I will get the same result. Clear? Any question till now?
So far, so good.
Okay. So this is basically the difference between the old format and the new format. I hope it's clear. I hope it's clear. I prefer usually inner join because inner join will show me the sequence of connection, even if I have like 5 tables, 6 tables, and so on. Okay, this is just I'm explaining the concepts. Now, attention, please, for the second type of join, which is the one that usually makes the students a little bit confused, which is the outer join. The outer join. Now we know that we have the inner join, then we have the outer joins, right? And for the outer join, usually we have 3 types. We have the left outer join, the right outer join, and the full outer join, the full outer join. We have here another 3, the left, right, and outer join, excluding the inner join. I'm going to explain why usually we use this query. Why usually we use this query. But first of all, let's go to run the inner join query once again before we go to explain the outer join query. So I will go here to execute this inner join query. So highlight execute. And before that, let me just select all from. Let me just copy and paste. Where are they? Okay. Or let me just highlight all the 3 equals. Now attention please for this query here. Notice here we said that inner join will go to match the existing value here with the existing value here. Okay? But you notice in my query, I didn't get all the branches, for example. Let me explain what I mean by that. Notice here we have B002, we have B003, right? We have B005, sorry, 4. We didn't see this B004 at all, because there is no staff is working in that branch. So simply it didn't appear. The same thing goes for what? Oh, only this one, because the others are there. Now let's assume that I told you the following. I told you that I want from you to write a query, okay? And this query show me all the information from the branch table, even they are not matching with the join criteria. Once again, assume that I told you, okay, I want to generate or I want to produce a table, okay, or a result or query, to write a query. And this query is supposed to show me all the information from the branch table, even though they are not matching this connection string. That means in the result, not only I will get this one, but also I'll get B004. So what the query will be in this case? And or if I want to ask, can anyone write the query down in the chat box? So I'll give you like 2 or 3 minutes so that you can write the query where I will get all the information from branch table, even they are not matching the criteria for the connection string here. Okay, so let's check here the answer. The two answers, the first one, select all from branch number inner join staff on the condition. Usually this one will not give me the result, okay? While the second one, select the information from branch left join staff on the condition. So let me just copy this one, okay? Copy, and let me here just go to paste this one and let me run the both queries. Just I want to update this query, okay, so I can get the same result after the select keyword. And let's compare the results. So highlight, execute. Now notice here in the first query, which is the inner join, I get how many rows? I get 6 rows, right? Because I only get the values which is matching the condition. But when I say left join keyword says that show me all the information from the branch table, even though they are not matching this criteria. Once again, left join here says show me all the information from the branch table, even though it is not matching the criteria here. So you will notice here, if it is matching the criteria, in this case, simply it will appear as what you have seen, like B002, it is London, then we have Bob. Then B003 appear 3 times. Then when I go for B004, we know that in the branch table, let me just go here to select all of these, okay? In the branch table, we have what? We have B004, but there is no staff is working in B004, as you can see here. We have B007, 3, 5, and 2, but 4 is not there. Therefore, in the final result here, when I go for, just 1 minute. When I go for the left outer join, notice here what happens. It says, okay, we have B004, result, and here the value is what? Is null. Why? Because I don't have any staff is working there. Then we continue B005 and B007. Clear? So the outer join basically is doing what? It will show me all the information from the table, even though it is not matching the criteria. Clear? This will have basically 2 types or 3 types. The first one will be what? Will be the left outer join. Left outer join means show me all the tables or the data, all the records from the table on the side of this keyword, on the left side. Right join will say simply give me what the information or all the records from the table on the right side of this keyword. So in reality, left join and right join, they are the same. It depends on what? It depends on how I locate my table. What I mean by that? If I go here to this query, where is it? This one, and just I copy and paste this one here. Then I move a branch B, and then I will have a staff S. Then I run the query. This one is left join. This one is equivalent to right join. Why? Because I basically changed the location of the table. So if I later put right join here, it will give me the same result of this one. So let me show you this one here for now. Notice here we have null value because B004, there is no staff there. But when I go for the staff, when I said here left join and change the location of the tables, you notice here I didn't get a null value. Why? Because all the foreign keys values are filled with data. Because all the foreign keys values are what? Filled with data. In case for assumption that maybe this one is deleted, or this is stuff which Suzanne is not working till now, in this case, I may say that, okay, null will appear in front of the record here because it is not matching any value in the branch table, Okay, clear? Any question?
It's all clear.
Okay, so for now, I'll give you like a break for 10 minutes, then we will proceed. Okay, so let's proceed. So here when I have the left join, as you can see here, once again, this will be equivalent to the right join because I just simply swap the location of the table, That means if I said here now right join, and then I write the query, or I run the queries, notice here I will get the same result. I will get the same result. Okay, clear? Also to make this more clear, let me just go here to edit the top rows, and let me just modify one of these, like maybe like B002 to make it empty. Okay, the update conflict with the foreign key constraint. Okay, because this is for the, let me just highlight this one here. This is a problem because of the conditions, okay, for no action, because I have some data and so on, okay, for the differential integrity action. So just what I will do, at least just for now, just for 1 minute, just delete the relationship, okay, to be able to save the data. Okay, rather than go and check what is the actual issue here. So I'll go to save the record here. So Bob now is not working in any branch. And then let me run the query once again. So just I'll go for the left join in both cases by swapping the location of the table, highlight, execute. So notice here, now two things happened. First of all, for the first query, now also B002 is not having any staff because earlier we were having one staff working there where we changed the value to null. Let me just show you what I mean by that. Okay, select all the queries just to highlight the result. Now for the inner join, we have only 5 rows because one of them became null, right? Which is the one that having B00. This one here, the one that have BA002 is not there anymore. Then when I go for the first query, which is this one, for the left join, notice here B002 now is not having any stuff there, and also earlier we have what B004. So in this case, notice here now also this became null. And the final query, which is this one, notice here we have B007, Mary is there, then B0, let's say 3, David and Susan and so on. Then when I go here for Bob, because I said this is left join, and I put the stuff is on the left side, so it says here, okay, Bob will appear, but no cities will appear here, Okay, clear? Any question till now? Any question till now?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, the next thing here, just I discuss about the left join, the right join, and so on. The last thing that we have is something called full outer join. Full outer join basically will go to show me all the data from the two tables, okay, but without showing me the cross join. That means it will go to show the matching criteria on the condition, but also it will go to show me all the branches, which is there is no staff working there, and also all the staff who is not working or assigned to any branch till now. So when I run the full out the query, highlight, execute, notice here what happens. It says B002, London, then there is no staff working there. B004, Bristol, there is no staff is working there. Then we have Bob here, he is not working in any branch, he is not working in any branch. So this is what the full outer join, Okay, clear? Now, any question till now?
No, sir.
Now next, usually we don't use this query, like we don't use the right join like this. Usually what I am concerned of is this part. It means, okay, show me the staff who is not assigned to any branch, right? This is what basically what I am concerned of. Like for example, if I am in the market, I will say, please show me the products which is not sold by any, let's say, customer. Or maybe in the university, please show me the courses which is not registered by any student. Okay, so in this case, usually I will focus on that part, not the whole query. Therefore, usually what we apply another condition. So notice here we said, give me this information, let's join branch, let's join, let's say, staff on the condition. Then notice here I would say where s dot branch number is null. So if I run the query here, you'll notice what? You'll notice that I will go to get the branches where there is no staff is assigned to these branches. I will go to get the branches where there is no staff assigned to these branches. Okay. The same thing goes for the right join. So here if I want to get the information from here right join staff, so highlight execute. Notice here the same thing. I will say, okay, we have Bob, and Bob is not assigned to any branch. Bob is not assigned to any branch. Finally, we will have what? The full outer join where only I want to get either the branches where no staff is working there or the staff is not working in any branch. So here I'll go for execute, and this is the result, and this is the result. Clear? Any question? Any question till now?
All clear, sir.
So far so good. So basically this is all for the DML part, okay? I think basically for the revision for, let's say, the DML, maybe I will go for, I will not cover DDL, but later if you have any question, you just can ask me about the DDL comments, the DDL comments. Now, what I want to do, because now we have around, let's say 45 minutes, okay, or I can say 40, basically. What I want to do now is the following. Earlier, I give you the first DML, as I remember tutorial question. Now, just I'll go to give you the second one. So let's go here for database security, the lab, and let's go here for SQL part 2. Sir, please upload this file. Which one? This one is not uploaded. Let me check. Okay, on Teams. Okay. One minute. Okay, let's go here for files. Okay. No worries. Later I need to upload all the, because now officially I am just following up or dealing with basically the okay, later I will upload all the files here, but for now, just before I forget, let me just I upload the codes. So let me just add what's it? Join statement. Okay, dream home John. Okay, this is the one. So let me just add it here. Okay, so now it is there, and also, no, it's okay. Okay, this one. Now, what I want from you to do is the following. So here we have what we have the earlier we covered the SQL recap for part 1, which is these queries. Okay, we reached till using the subquery, and earlier I asked you to create this database. Okay, what I want to do next is, or I will ask you to check for what, for the part 2 here. Okay, so I want from you to answer these queries. List, for example, let's say the boat names and reservation dates for all boats. List sailor names, reservation dates, and boat name for all sailors. So I will use here inner join, subquery, and so on. Okay, so I want from you now to check the second tutorial, let's say, question. Okay, and I will assume that you already have created these tables, so the tables are there in first place. But I want to ask you to do what? To answer these queries, to answer these queries. Okay. I will assume that because you are familiar with this concept, so you'll not really take too much time in answering the queries here. So at least I will give you now, it is like 3:21. So I'll give you like around half an hour, okay, to solve the tutorial and to send me the answers. So I'll be later just checking like 10 minutes. I will go to choose some of these queries and I will check for the solutions. Then we'll go to discuss about it. We'll go discuss about it. So any question till now? Any question till now?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, so far so good. So I'll give you now like half an hour, then I'll go to check some of the quiz. So for now, I'll mute my mic and then see you after half an hour. Also, I'll stop sharing my screen just because, okay, so just I'll mute my mic and stop sharing my Okay, attention please. So let's go for query number D. List all sellers' names and reservation date. Either the seller has done reservation or not. Once again, let's go for question D. List all sellers' names and reservation dates. Either seller has done reservation or not. So anyone can give me the query here in the chat box for a query D or for question D. Okay, in this case, in this question, I will go to use subquery, inner join, right join, left join, or out full outer join. Which one I will go to use?
We can use the left join.
We can use what? We
The
can
left join
use
or the right
the
join?
left join, right? Left join, if I want to say that seller table is on the left side
Yeah.
and the reservation is on the right side, right? So in this case, I will get the information for all the sellers. Either they have done reservation or they didn't do any reservation. Okay.
So the
Okay.
query would be something like select all seller names from unreservation dates from a seller table, left join.
Can you give me the query? Just write it down in the chat
Okay.
box.
Okay, I'll write it down.
So select all its name from seller B, left join reservation on seller. Okay. Now basically the question will, the answer will be okay. But here, when you say select all, first you need to add the table name. Then if you want to say all, that means you can say select B dot all. Okay. From seller B or seller S if you want to say that. Okay. Left join reservation B. That means if you want to use else or not. On S dot seller, it will be equal to reservation and so on. So basically, this is, it will be the left join equal left join equal. Okay. The first query lists boats names and reservation dates for all boats. This is usually will use inner join or the simple join as you wish. Okay. List seller names, reservation dates, and boat names. This is for sure. It is inner join, but here I highlighted that you must use inner join. Okay. List seller names for sellers who reserve the blue color boat. Here we can apply this using two queries. Either I will use subquery, or I will use join statement, or I will use join statement. Okay. For E, F, and D, they are like basic DML commands. The first one just insert into table. The second one is using update command, and the last one is using the delete command under DML commands. Okay, so this is basically all for today. Any question before I take the attendance? So by this, we have finished the revision for the ARD and the SQL commands. By next lecture, I will go for next topic, which is stored procedures, procedures. So for now, let me just take the attendance. Okay, this is where we can get the full database. In reality, there is no full database. I never provide the full database. Just simply, I will ask students to create it, then to provide some data. Okay, but officially, I didn't, let's say, provide the data for the KL Marina database. And in the previous session, lecture, I asked the students to create the database, but the data, just everyone can use the data that he like. So that's all for today, and see you and next week. Later, I will arrange for replacement class for the one that we have missed on Monday. Okay. Most likely, I will do it like by next week. Most welcome. Most welcome.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thanks for all, and stay safe. Okay. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Okay. And see you next week. Assalamu alaikum. Have a nice day.